Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. And you are an entrepreneur, and even as a child, I understand you're an entrepreneur as well. You kind of always had that spirit. So you kind of came back to that now as you've healed, and so you've seen and have been around some true evil. I would say true evil, some real dark stuff. You've seen it, you've experienced it. How have you dealt with some of that trauma, and what would you say maybe to other people who have experienced some trauma and trying to get past that?
Yeah, I mean, I think healing is more of like a process, a journey. It's not something that just kind of happens, and it takes a daily thing. I still, deal with a lot of stuff today. I still have bad dreams waking up. I still have flashbacks. I still have times when I get really low, and a lot of that comes from my past and my history and where I've been and where I'm trying to go. For me, just doing this, just actually speaking about it has been tremendously helpful in writing about it. My parents were very traditional Indian parents. This is kind of like a hush hush topic. You don't talk about it. And then being a man in America, like, men aren't, we're strong. Like, we're not supposed to be talking about this stuff, kind of thing. And that's what a lot of society wants to say. And I just don't think it's true. I don't think that we can just forget our past. I think we can work through them. I think we can understand from them, learn from them, and then move on beyond them. Taking it as, what it was and the experiences that we learned. I think, like, my ex-wife used to tell me, just forget it. It's the past. Don't think about it. And I was like, it's a lot of stuff that kind of hurts me. And I kind of do want to talk about a little bit of it. And, doing these podcasts and talking about it like this helps, like, tremendously. So I would say it's a very good first step for anybody out there experiencing it, no matter how small or big you think, your pain or tragedy or trauma is. It's all valid. Everyone feels whatever level it is very strongly within them when it's painful and when it's traumatic. So talking about it is a huge first step, and you have to understand, you got to be gentle with yourself, in the process of healing is going to be something that you're going to be doing maybe the rest of your life, and it doesn't have to seem overwhelming. It's a very gentle, daily type of thing you're going to do. It's just taking care of yourself, and it's going to help you elevate yourself more and more and more.
And I just appreciate you so much, because you are giving a voice, to so many who maybe don't have a voice and who've been through some of that similar things, maybe in some of the same institutions, and maybe don't have a voice. So thank you for giving a voice to those unheard and for raising that. So just want to say thank you so much for that. What would you say? So, once you're in the system, it's kind of hard to crawl out of that. Once you're kind of in the system and institutionalized, especially at an early age, it's really hard to kind of crawl out of that stigma, that mentality. How were you able to battle through that? And what would you say to someone who, in similar circumstances, to kind of keep trucking on?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's a very, very important topic as well, because it is tough. And a lot of that toughness, some of it comes from the stigma society places on you. Some of it comes from the actual, chip on the shoulder that you get as being a convicted felon or being institutionalized. You have to want to be out of that lifestyle, first of all. First and foremost, you have to be sick of it. I didn't looking over your shoulder, worrying about the next time you get arrested, not knowing who might want to come get what from you at what time. You have to get out of it. And then you can begin the mindset and mind shifts and everything. I used to get in arguments and fights and this and that all the time, no matter where I was. And just being away from that lifestyle and away from that negativity and not doing those things anymore, I don't really get into that kind of stuff anymore. I don't really have those negative energies around me. It just doesn't happen. So the biggest thing in the beginning is you have to want to. Second, you need to really believe that whatever identity you created or society created for you, whatever trouble you got yourself into, there is 1,000% a way out and a way to better and a way to more. And you really, really need to know that from a very visceral level. Like, it's important to know that in your heart. And, it took me a while to understand that and to understand and to know that. And it's a journey. Like I said, healing is a journey. There comes a point when you see the light and you're like, wait a minute, like, I can do more. I can do better. It took me, even my friends now, to see what I'm doing selling hair, it took them 3 to 4 years to even say, oh, okay, Rocky's actually doing this. He's actually making it. He's actually doing well. He's not just jumping around or playing around or selling drugs or doing something crazy anymore. And, I wasn't attached to the outcome of whatever they thought, but it was really nice to see finally, after this much time, that, oh, my friends and family, they notice it and they appreciate it. They're proud of me, no one really ever tells me they're proud of me. In the past, I didn't really do too much to be proud of. So, I'm not doing it for them, but, it is a very nice, validation after you've done it, all the work and put it in yourself to understand that the people in your life, in your circles, they see it. And then, hopefully they can get inspired, motivated to do the same thing, because many people I know have similar stories or were in similar situations. And I want to help everybody so much. And there's just certain times when I have to back up and say, hey, man, like, when you're ready, when you want to do it, like, I'll be there, and plenty of the people will be there. They say that the teacher arrives when the student is ready to learn, or something like that. I think I was like, oh no, it was Lao Tzu or who it was, but that really does ring true. When you're ready to receive the knowledge and information, doors will open. You'll find the way.
Absolutely. And you like you found the way. You're a prime example of that. So again, I just can't say this enough. Thank you so much. Now, you're known as the hair god. Let's get into how you became known as a hair god and what exactly are you doing?